expectations. 40,000 turned out to witness Stephen Strasburg's debut. Each was given a lasting impression. Jaw-dropping fastballs, knee-buckling curves, producing 14 strikeouts in 7 spectacular innings. Today's a new day, but we will not soon forget what happened here last night.
It's a great day for baseball.
But it is time to forget, and Jim Riggleman, who's probably been on more radio shows today than any politician in Washington, D.C., knows the importance of coming back the next night and getting the job done. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, a guy who knows a little bit about throwing a fastball, and we saw some serious high-octane here last night. So your impression of that guy's heater?
Well, obviously we knew he had the great heater. We knew he threw the really good fastball. He throws upwards of 100, great sinker. Ball moves all over the place. But the bottom line to being a pitcher at the major league level, being able to command all of your pitches in a crucial situation. And here's the circle change. You see the grip on it, and selling it is as much as throwing it. And you have to throw at the same arm speed as the fastball, and that's where he got a lot of strikeouts. So from the side, you see the grip, and there you see the finished product. Now the curveball, obviously, his bread and butter, and is always going to be he can change speeds on it, and then when he needs it to be an out pitch, it's way down low in the zone, and you see him against Jones right there. You sell it again. You think the fastball's coming at 98 miles an hour, and you get 82 miles an hour. That's going to be the key to his success. It's how he sells this stuff. It's repeating delivery. It's delivering the ball from the same arm slot time and time again. And that's where we saw the pitching part of Stephen Strasburg. So I've seen a lot of kids that have great arms. The kid you're going to see tonight, Brad Lincoln, first-round pick of the Pirates, great arm, throws upper 90s. But it's about the secondary pitches that you sell from that arm slot.
He takes on John Lannon, who hopes for support from the middle. Zimmerman, Dunn, and Willingham were outstanding last night. Ryan now has 12 homers. He's over 30 RBIs. Adam Dunn went deep, his 11th upstairs last night. And the Hammer, the most consistent RBI man all year long for your Nationals. To experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. Cloudy night on the banks of the Anacostia this evening. Cool weather. It's been raining off and on all day in our nation's capital. And a few less of our friends here that were here last night. The Pittsburgh Pirates last in the league, hitting at .236. Andrew McCutchen now has been dropped down to the number 3 spot. Jose Tabata makes his major league debut in left field and leading off for the Pirates. He'll be batting in just a moment. In fact, they have a pitcher, Brad Lincoln, also making his debut. This is the debut series. Not so for John Lennon. It'll be his 82nd career start, but he's 0-3 with a 5 ERA in 3, making 4 previous starts against the Pirates. For some reason, this ball club gives him problems.
Well, and just like in golf, you watch a guy like Tiger Woods hit, and then you got to go up behind him. You don't want to duplicate or try to duplicate his swing. For John Lennon, don't try to duplicate what he did yesterday. Go out, pitch your game, lay the groundwork. When you get in a jam, like usual, get the ground ball double play outs, pitch your game, and then peak efficiency. Be efficient. Try to stay under 15 pitches an inning and go deep into the ball game.
Here's Jose Tabata, who leads off. He's 21 from Venezuela, and the first pitch he sees in his major league career is low. We're underway at 7:06 Eastern.
Well, and I heard from the Yankees when he got traded over here, and Gene Michael told me that Tabata was supposed to be as good as Austin Jackson is,
and he might have
Detroit Tigers.
That's probably his first major league hit. That ball ate up Ian Desmond. So they'll throw the baseball in. So his major league career off to a pretty good start.
The Yankees sent Ross Ollendorf, Jeff Karstens, and Jose Tabata over to the Pittsburgh Pirates 2 years ago. And it took this kid a couple of years to get it down in the minor leagues. And there you see a shot that's too hot to handle for Ian Desmond.
He was hitting .308 in 53 games with their AAA ball club at Indianapolis. So here's the second baseman, Neil Walker, a homegrown Pirate, first rounder from 6 years ago, and John Lennon's off the stretch already. That's a hard bunt. Zimmerman plays it well. And he is called safe by Lance Barksdale at first base. We'd like to see that one again, and the Pirates have 2 on, nobody out.
This is going to be a close play. One of the best in the business, barehanding the ball. You see him sweep in, grab it, and it looks like he got him.
And the runner was out.
Runner was out at first.
Lance Barksdale called him safe. And it'll be McCutchen now hitting .306 with 2 men aboard.
That's one of the ways you win Gold Gloves. Making plays like that. Was back, was not in, not expecting the bunt, and still made a fantastic play.
Lennon throws a strike to Andrew McCutchen. In the top 6 in the league with 67 hits. A thorn in the side of the Nats in his young big league career. Outfield's around to the right. You know what the infield's looking for. Cloudy skies overhead. Actually brighter now than it was a couple of hours ago. 74 degrees and a chance of some off and on rain tonight. John goes inside and misses 2-1. Pirates are 12 under 500. 9.5 in the Central behind the Reds and Cardinals. The Nats start the night 3 under, 6 back of Atlanta. Braves at Arizona again tonight. That's a off-speed pitch under the hands of the right-hander. Ron Kulpa, 12-year veteran, has the plate. Tom Hallion at third, who had the plate last night. Ron Kulpa told me about an hour ago that he had the best seat in the house last night. He was at first base. He said, I didn't have to call any of those pitches. I just got to stand there and enjoy it. And I'll share Tom Hallion's thoughts with you, the home plate umpire, when we get a chance. Swing and a miss. And a big strikeout for John Lennon. McCutchen down on strikes for the 39th time.
Well, Lennon sets up beautifully to follow Strasburg, whether it's Levon Hernandez or a guy with a good changeup like John Lennon. It's a beautiful thing. You had Carlos Silva face him a couple nights ago. Then you get a guy throwing 100. And so, very wisely going to the off-speed stuff early in the ball game.
And if you just saw that replay we showed you, the ISO on John, you would have thought that was a fastball. It was a hard motion, and he threw the changeup perfectly off that fastball motion.
And hitters are so wonderful at this level, Bob. They can pick up the deception you're trying to do by slowing your arm down. You have to use the same arm speed as a fastball. That's how you sell it. It's all in the grip that slows down the ball.
Garrett Jones, the first baseman. Ooh, there was daylight at second base, but Lannan
Step off.
finally does. And actually, I think the hitter asked for time.
Yeah.
John Lannan never did step off the mound.
You should, just rule of thumb. Whenever your guys go for the bag, it's going to take too long for them to get back to their position.
Well, especially in a double play situation. There's a pop-up. Infield fly rule going into effect. Desmond under it, and John Lannan battles back with 2 quick outs. Nats defense brought to you by Cisco Federal, a proud mission partner to the United States Department of Defense. And the defensive lineup is the same except for catcher as it was last night. Pudge Rodriguez still easing his way back in. But Jim Riggleman on a cool night doesn't want to overwork him and have him in 2 nights in a row.
But remember, when he went down and he did the rehab, it's basically back-to-back nights for Pudge. He did 6 innings down in his rehab start, then he caught the game last night. So,
good point.
Well, it's not my point. I listen to Riggs' Jaguars pregame show.
Well, you're being an accurate reporter. And the Dibble family has a long tradition of that.
Thank you.
Your father was one of the best.
Great news, man.
Here's Andy LaRoche.
I was just regurgitating somebody else's news.
Well, if you read it one place, it's called plagiarism. If you read it 2 places, it's called research. And a foul. Debbie Taylor, how did Pudge feel today after he worked last night?
I think he's feeling pretty good, and I'll tell you that Jim Riggleman said, too, that he'd like to keep him on a 3-day limit. So it looks like, after those 3 days are over, they're going to go to Willie Avis to fill in 2 behind the plate.
And the weather was kind of miserable all day. Not exactly a stellar day to have a veteran guy planning to play. And a 1-1 now to LaRoche. On a play to the right side. Weather up and down the coast. Now the scoreboard here says the Marlins at the Phillies is delayed. The report I'm looking at says that game has been postponed in Philadelphia tonight. And they're delayed in New York as well, with the Padres trying to get underway there. And again, the report I'm looking at says that game will not be played tonight. So this could be it of the National League on this Northeast quarter tonight. John, the ERA's down. Rob, he's finishing his pitches.
Yes.
And he's got more difference now between his fastball and his changeup than he did early. Trying to bury the hitter low and in, but he misses. And on a 3-2 pitch, Tabata at second. And then Walker 90 feet behind him. Both with good speed will be off and moving.
Well, when your arm's hurting you, you're worried about your elbow. And you're not worried about the hitters. And when you get healthy, now you're back to worrying about the hitters. And that's why he's been so good his last 4 starts. You have to attack that strike zone. You have to put all the emphasis around the plate. And when it's with you on the mound, that's not a good thing.
Weather must be okay in Baltimore. The Yankees and the Orioles are just underway. And it's 3-2 with 2 outs here in the first. Runners moving. Bases loaded. For lasting Smilage, with the Pirates drop down to the number 6 spot tonight, with the rookie Tabata entering the lineup. Lastings last night, 1 for 4. He was strikeout victim number 1 and number 11. A single to right and a grounder to short mixed in. And his former teammate Lannan misses. First inning has not been a problem for John. It's always seemed to be like third, fourth, fifth inning, that part of the ball game, when teams are seeing him for the second time around. Milic pops it up. It's out of play.
Lastings did make a great play from left field last night. I had Jim Riggleman on my radio show this morning. He said that's when he thought the game was going to change, and he was thinking, oh, it's one of those nights again where you had guys in scoring position, line shot into left field by Bernardina. He thought it was going to drop in the gap, and Milic made a double play out of it.
Yeah, he was playing way off the line. That's a breaking ball. Fouled. It looks playable. Adam Dunn is there. He's got it. And John Lennon, a long but scoreless top of the first inning. And he is hitting well against Pittsburgh pitching. He's ahead of Dunn and Willingham. The big guys 3, 4, and 5 did lots of damage last night. Wilmy Avis in the lineup. And here's the first major league pitch by Brad Lincoln, who's from Adam Dunn's neighborhood down in the Houston area. And it's a strike. And he too was a high school quarterback. 6-2, 3.16 ERA at the AAA level this year. 11 starts in 68 innings. Struck out 55 hitters.
Is it Clute, Texas?
Clute. Guzman guides the ball to left. Jose Tabata grabs it for the first down.
Well, and he was the gold medal winner against Cuba in 2009. So he was the winning pitcher. He pitched 23 innings in the World Games Cup last year, basically. 4x4, he's got 4 very good pitches, and he doesn't maybe throw them as good as Strasburg, but he's got high velocity. And oh, by the way, 4th overall pick in 2006 by the Pirates.
6 foot 210. Right down the middle of Niger Morgan, hitting .312 in 9 games since the Nats made him the number 2 hitter in the lineup.
And we set back for Brad Lincoln. Bob will tell you in a second. Had Tommy John surgery in 2007. So he probably would have been here a little bit earlier, although he had that little setback, and Dr. James Andrews had to give him a new tendon in the elbow.
And they were careful with him the following year, starting just 19 games, 25 last year. And here's the 0-2 to Morgan, way inside.
Excuse me, Duke Ligman. Oh, no. It's a lateral.
Pitchers don't want to hear anything that ends in CL. Like an off-speed pitch up and away, 2-2 to the former Pirate. Nyjer Morgan hitting at .258 with a mediocre on-base percentage. Well, actually a poor one for a guy like him at .325. Let's not sugarcoat it. He gets jammed on that one and flies it down the right field line. Lastings Milledge hasn't played a lot of right field in his big league career, but he has it. And the Cisco defense for the Pirates. Now, when they had Jack Wilson at shortstop, they led the league in fielding for a couple of years. They have Ronnie Cedeno there now, and they're in the bottom 4 in the league defensively. McCutchen is their fastest and best outfielder, although Lastings Milledge made a very accurate throw home to double up the Nats last night. And there's Jose Tabata, the rookie in left field. But he's looking around saying, man, these lights are better than they were anywhere else I played. And Ryan Zimmerman, leading the league in slugging percentage at .599, steps in. He's 4th in hitting, 3rd in on-base percentage, 8th in homers, and he's 10th now on the runs list. Ryan has scored 38 this year. A tremendous all-around campaign so far. 1-1 to Zimmerman.
And there you see the difference, really, between Strasburg and a guy like Lincoln. Lincoln's got the curveball. It's just the command of it, being able to locate it at will.
Trying to get a 1-2-3 first inning in his debut. And Zimmerman identifies the breaking ball and lays off.
But sometimes when you do hurt yourself and hurt your elbow and have the surgery, you do come back. You have better mechanics, you protect the arm a little bit more, and sometimes you don't throw with the same max effort. Wow.
Well, he missed where his catcher was. That ball appeared to be right over the plate.
It had to be low. Looked like a strike. Like you said, he missed the target, but he still threw it over the plate.
And Zimmerman will take a walk with 2 outs.
Well, we said this with Strasburg. Ron Kolpa doesn't really know him. Watched him throw his warm-ups, but might have missed those last 2 pitches.
I asked Tom Hallion today, not seeing Strasburg before, did the movement on his pitches give you problems? He said, no, not really, because his command was so good. And Tom Hallion did say, that's the most fun I've had umpiring a game behind home plate in a long, long time. He said it was really neat to be part of it. And then the other significant thing he said, there's a breaking ball for a strike to Adam Dunn. Ron said, it was very obvious to me, or Tom said, from the first couple of pitches, God has given this young man a very special gift. And not many have it.
Nope.
We'll see what he does with it over the next 15 years, we hope. Inside to Adam at a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Good to see Dunn finally leave the ballpark last night with a long fly ball. He's hitting .327 over the last month now. Batting average up to .280. It's 33 points above his career average. He launches another one. How far? Way far. 2-0 Nationals.
Big bad.
He can carry a ball club when he gets hot, and the 2-out walk will be deadly for the rookie pitcher here.
Well, he was just missing some balls. Bob had told you yesterday that he was hitting a lot of singles and doubles, but now he's squaring it up. He knows just what the field feels like again. And 2 days in a row, and this is an absolute bomb. Way out there. I don't know, about 420, 430.
Yeah, that's 10 to 15 rows up with tremendous height on it. And here's Josh Willingham, the Nats lead early, 2-0.
Like you said, with Zimmerman hitting well, now Dunn stroking the ball, Willingham's been hitting well, and when you got Ivan Rodriguez in the lineup, Bernardina and Desmond, I mean, it's just a very potent lineup. If we could get some 7-8 inning outings out of some of our pitchers, we're going to be just fine. Willingham comes up after Adam Dunn, gets a pitch that backs up inside and low. And a lot of balls will die when they go into that area on Josh Willingham.
4 homers by the middle of the lineup already in this series. One by each of them last night. Adam Dunn here tonight. Willingham steps in. Number 1 on base guy in the league at .427.
Well, and the one thing when you're a kid and you're Brad Lincoln, you come up, try to establish the fastball a little bit more. He's thrown a lot of off speed, a lot of slow breaking balls, and you really, and you've said this many times, and I love it by my partner, when you say, what are you changing up off of?
Yeah, that's why they call it a change-up to begin with. Willingham has that one run down by McCutchen, but big Mr. Dunn is on a roll. One guy from Texas. Mr. Clutch when it comes to the long ball. Last night, no exception. Nationals much better at home than on the road, and so are the Yankees. And the Pirates are having a hard time winning on the road. Their record is 9-20 on the year. Nats here at home, 16-12. And here's Ronnie Cedeno to lead off the second. Lannon tails the ball away from it. A good moving fastball. Counts even 1-1. Cedeno. Young catcher Jason Jaramillo and Brad Lincoln, the pitcher. Sounded like a broken bat. Easy liner right at Ian Desmond.
Well, John did a nice job. Got all jammed up. Runners all over the place. Then went to work. Last season's Millage. Strikeout there. Then he gets Jones to pop it up to Ian Desmond. And there's last season's Millage. That was McCutchen, I apologize, in the 3-hole. John Lennon did a very nice job in the first inning, Bob, when he got the first two guys on by working his way out of it. And that's what we've come to expect from John Lennon.
Here's another element to Brad Lincoln starting tonight. The guy he's working with, in this case, a young catcher, Jason Jaramillo, as opposed to the luxury Steven Strasburg had last night with a future Hall of Famer. Jaramillo is 26 years of age, but only played 63 games in the big leagues prior to this season. Right field, long way to go, Bernardina, and he gets there while skipping right over Christian Guzman. Outstanding play.
I can exhale now because I just swallowed my heart. Whew. We almost lost two guys on one play right there. You almost see a very bad collision. There's a point where one of these two players needs to get off of this. And Christian Guzman, the quickest way to stop on a field is sliding. And you saw him slide to try to get away from Bernardino. But that was one time where you really didn't want a fast guy to come running in like that.
You know, Guzman used to steal a lot of bases in the American League. That might be his best slide ever right there.
Man, to avoid contact, that was wonderful.
And quickly, Lannon goes 0-2 on Brad Lincoln in his first major league at bat.
I just remember Mike Cameron and Carlos Beltran, two center fielders going head to head, actually head to cheek, one of the worst collisions I've ever seen.
Well, it won't be Soon when we forget Austin Kearns and Nick Johnson at Shea Stadium 3 years ago. Austin with tears in his eyes after Nick broke his leg. Two big men colliding on a Texas leaguer.
1-2 on the pitch track. Very nice low curveball.
And the pitcher lines one by Desmond. What is it with these rookie pitchers against the Nats? Young Mr. Leake, 2 hits from Cincinnati the other day, and then Brad Lincoln, and they'll throw that ball into the dugout.
Hot Rod Lincoln with his first major league hit. Brad Lincoln right here. He's going to get another curveball, so you throw a couple in a row, and he sees it, and he's waxing in the left field.
And here's Jose Tabata, who got his first major league hit in his first at bat, leading off the first.
How many times when you see the missed strike 3 call, the next pitch is hit somewhere?
Well, do you want to reference the last road trip on that?
Lance Berkman.
And then, of
Scott
course,
Rowland.
Nick Hundley in San Diego.
Man, you just have them all right there.
Well, those things don't leave your mind. You know I'm not over Berkman yet.
Oh, no.
But I will.
And rightfully so.
Give me a week.
That was, no. You know what? That was just a bad call.
And a fly ball that should be easy for Bernardina in right. Pirates are done in the second. Bernardina, Desmond, and Nieves, 6, 7, 8 for the Nats. Over 100.
And as I said before, I had Jim Riggleman on my show this morning. He was nice enough to get up before the crack of dawn. And he said that Kerry Wood punched out 20 guys when he had him in Chicago. And he said that may have been just a little bit more dominant performance, but he threw about 120, 130 pitches to punch out 20 guys. But there you see some of the things that went along with his outing last night. And I know a lot of people were really surprised, but when you watched what he was doing at the minor league level, that was just another part of his progression to the major leagues as a pitcher. I mean, he didn't strike out that many in some outings, but you know what? He wasn't also throwing a lot of changeups. I had talked to his manager once, Trent Jewett, and in Syracuse, and he said he had to tell Strasburg to start throwing the changeup more because he wasn't throwing it at all. He didn't need it in the lower minor leagues, nor should he have needed it. And so one of the things I liked what Steven said after last night during the press conference was he was giving some of the guys too much credit. And that's part of feeling your way in the major leagues.
Bernardina rocks one to the 335 mark. That's what the Nats need more of out of their right fielder. He's aboard with that great speed. The leadoff double in the second.
Well, and for Lincoln, that was just bad location right there on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. You're going to want to be able to locate. You're going to want to be able to command your pitches and make sure that guys like this, and the knock on Lincoln right now is he gives up a lot of long balls, and Bernardino just gets a pitch up and in and just quickly turns on it. One thing Strasburg learned last night, you make a mistake, it's going to be hit hard somewhere.
Roger Bernardino's 5th double of the year. Ian Desmond will be next. Light hitting catcher than the pitcher. So Ian's trying to do more than just move the runner here. With the luxury of a 2-run lead, you can have him try to drive that run in.
Yeah, try to hit a double in the gap somewhere and change positions. But is that one of the 3 more hits a week that Bernardino needs?
Yes.
Okay.
I said 3 to 4 extra hits a week, and he'll have himself a job for a while.
No, I think that these two right here could be good for the Nationals for a long time. Desmond and Bernardino.
Well, I love Desmond over there next to Zimmerman defensively. Even though the errors are finding him. Fastball in there. Luna double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. 2 hot rookies since the end of May. And Neil Walker already has a base hit here tonight on that bunt. Walker's a former #1 draft choice. Ian Desmond, right field, but it's hanging up, and Milic comes in to grab it. Didn't really have to come up throwing that hard.
Nice play by Lastings Milic. Yeah, didn't love the throw, but it did get stopped by the third baseman.
Desmond, by the way, was a 3rd rounder by the Expos back in 2004.
Lastings doing a nice job right there, cheating in the opposite way, which you know I'm heavily in favor of. So you have a power pitcher. He jammed a right-handed hitter. And we see a lot of those balls drop. So Lastings Milic right underneath him.
Here's Wilmy Avis now with a chance to drive in a run before John Lannon bats.
And I got to tell you, when you make a pitch like that and the guy jams it and sends it out there and you think it's a hit and a guy like Milic comes in and catches it, you're thinking, man, thanks a lot. So that'll fire you up as a pitcher.
Wilmy Avis 3 for his last 28. Batting average plummeted as he was required to play nearly every day. Carlos Maldonado back in the minor leagues. Jamie Burke, well, actually Maldonado DL'd and will be back in the minors. And then Jamie Burke sent out to make room for Strasburg and Rodriguez. And that was a breaking ball that was up near the helmet of Will, who's hitting a .180.
Well, and you know, he's not the same fanfare, but Brad Lincoln's got a lot of emotions riding on tonight's start, and he's overthrown the breaking ball a little bit, but that's to be expected. Got his first major league hit, a lot of adrenaline flowing. And if he can stick around 5th, 6th inning, 2nd, 3rd time through the batting order, that's when he'll probably be back to pitching again, and most of the adrenaline will have left, and he won't be as fired up.
Fastball in there. Lincoln, not that big of a guy. Lannon is taller at 6'4", 215. Brad Lincoln, 6 foot, 210. And he played 3 years at the University of Houston, which has a good baseball tradition. Jammed on that pitch, and Nieves to Neil Walker for the 2nd out. Over to third base goes Bernardino. Lana coming up. For a limited time, you can still pick 3 games and get a 4th one free, plus a free New Era Nats cap while supplies last. Don't miss out on history this summer. Nationals.com/New Era or 202-675-NATS. Maximum of 4 tickets per purchase on the New Era Flex plan with a ball cap. John Lannon has 1 RBI this year, 2 in his career. And playing real shallow and left is Jose Tabata.
Take some hacks up there. Much more dangerous when you're swinging that wood thing. Give it a hack. Maybe make some contact and put one out there. That a baby.
Go down Go down Hackett, huh?
Yeah. Hey, three swings as hard as you can. That's what they used to tell us. Just swing hard, you might hit something.
No balls and 2 strikes to John. Nats up 2-0. And it's by him. This game into the 3rd inning. Leadoff double by Bernardino wasted. And the Nats on top of the Bucks. 2-0.
Can only hope that John Lannon and the rest of the rotation can feed off of that.
Whether it's consciously or subconsciously, sometimes when a young pitcher joins the staff, I saw it happen in Chicago years ago with Kerry Wood when he joined our staff. I think our veteran pitchers actually pitched better once Kerry was there. And
these guys are competitive, and I think that it's going to be good for them. And the energy last night, the guys really were into it and pumped to see that. So hopefully they can be a part of it too, Bob.
Good word, energy, Debbie. 3rd inning underway. Neil Walker takes the ball. I asked Jim Riggleman about the energy in the dugout last night on our brand new Jim Riggleman MASNsports.com blog that we taped today. Go to the website. You can find video blogs from Adam Dunn, Jim Riggleman, and that along with thoughts on Strasburg and what the middle of the lineup did last night from Jim Riggleman. You can be interactive with us during the game. Ben Gessling has his live in-game chat going. And Ben told me the traffic was very busy on the website last night, as you might imagine. This one hacked out to center. Nyjer Morgan didn't have to move back too much. And John Lannon is mowing down the Pirates now after those first 2 hit safely 2 innings ago.
Wow, what was some fun.
You can ask about the Nats at MASNsports.com. By the way, J.D. Martin, their lockers are next to each other. Will the Nats stick with his inning restriction after last night? From Lily Claire in Manassas. What do you think, Rob?
I talked to Jim Riggleman today. He said they're going to have him on every 5th day, like a regular starter, and see how it goes into August and September. You know, the restriction is for his own safety. And as I said last night with Felix Hernandez, I mean, he's turned out to be one of the best pitchers in the major leagues. It's more about what he has or has not done in the last couple of years. And so you don't want the kid to go from, 160, 170 innings last year combined, college, instructional, and Arizona Fall League to 250 this year. So I think, yeah, they'll stick to it, but they'll also watch him carefully.
Well, I thought it was impressive that he got 7 last night on 94 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, he was very efficient. So, I mean, you know, he had 81 through 6. You know, you're looking at the kid saying, listen, he hasn't lost anything. And Riggleman said, listen, he could have gone 8 or 9. But there's no reason to push him. It's not like it was a playoff game last night.
Well, Clippard had a clean 8th. Caps had a clean 9th. And your game is nailed down by the bullpen. I gave Steven today a color copy of the score sheet from last night. And as we were looking at that, I asked him, hey, how'd you sleep last night? He said, I slept hard. He was tired. He was a busy guy yesterday, and he said he slept like a baby last night. And a lot of Nats fans did, too, after what they saw.
Yeah, and that's just really the start, though, of things that are going to happen in the next few years. I mean, then you got Bryce Harper. You've got all the guys down in the minor leagues right now that are getting better, getting closer. You can go out and get some free agents, get some trades. But that was just one of the best performances I've ever witnessed.
1 and 2, and McCutchen fouls it away. Well, you saw that graphic we showed you that Steven struck out the last 7 batters. He also struck out 8 of the last 9, and the last 6 were all swinging strikes. Jeff Karstens, the pitcher, was the one who took a strike there. Everybody else went down hacking. Landon to McCutchen. It's outside, and the count's even.
Well, and you know this name, Dimitri Young. He played here. I talked to him this morning. I asked him, I said, what's it like when you face a guy like Strasburg? And he said, you swing early because you don't want to be, you know, in that highlight reel on that big breaking ball. He says you want to try to get a fastball and something to hit. He said, but I'm swinging in true Dimitri Young form. I'm swinging before they finish announcing my name.
3-2 pitch. Lannon just misses. And the body language of Will Nieves indicates he thought that was a strike. Second walk by John.
3-2 pitch right here. Will Nieves wants it low.
And Ron Kulpa does not have a low strike zone.
That was beautifully done.
And now you see Lannon going for a walk. There are ways pitchers can show their displeasure without glaring in at the umpire, and that's what John just did, because we found out that serves no purpose.
No, but you know, he's just trying to get his own composure back after he thought he was out of the inning or
like
got the second out. Right.
Here's Garrett Jones, who popped up to Desmond first. Pirates have out hit the Nationals 3-2. But on the Adam Dunn homer, the home team on top.
Well, and I think sometimes, you know, we watch so many games and you just watch so many repetitions. After the ball game, I was watching the Celtics and Lakers final, and Derek Fisher almost broke down and cried after the game. He made some amazing plays down the stretch. These guys are going all out. The adrenaline is flowing. They're doing everything they can every pitch, and sometimes we take that for granted.
That ball well hit to right. Bernardina plays it on a hop. A walk and a base hit, and John Lannon's in hot water again now with Andy LaRoche coming in.
He carefully pitched LaRoche last time he faced him.
Walked him to load the bases for popping up Millage, but now there's one out here. Real good speed at second. Garrett Jones moves it pretty well. Andy LaRoche, kid brother of Adam.
Going.
They're both running. Throw to second. And safe. As the throw is just off to the shortstop side. With a right-handed batter in there, Will Nieves never gave third base a look for a shorter throw, and it's a double steal. And for McCutchen, his 14th of the year.
Well, as soon as John Lannon looks towards home, McCutchen's off. He could have walked to third base. He had such a great jump. So you take your shot at throwing behind the runner and trying to get Jones. And Jones, big man, runs pretty well, steals the base.
Yeah, I can't fault Will Nieves for that one. Second and third, one out. And that's under the hands of LaRoche. 1 ball, 1 strike.
No, and that was very heads up by Will, knowing that the only shot I have is the big first baseman. I had no shot at McCutchen, and you try to get an out right there any way you can.
And if his throw is a foot or two to the right, the runner would have been out. Bouncer to short. It's a contact play. A run will score. Desmond throws out LaRoche, and the Pirates are on the board. And And the man who scores is McCutchen, who walked for LaRoche's 12th RBI.
Right now, and the one thing we've known about John Lannon, he loves to minimize damage. Get into some jams, but work his way out. Gets a lot of ground balls. There was one of them, and now you got 2 outs. Try to get Lastings Milledge out of there any way you can.
And Rob, you may find this interesting. That was his first ground ball out, and it was the second out of the 3rd inning. John's last outing was last Wednesday at Houston when the Astros won 5-1, and Lannon was double digits in ground ball outs in that game. In a ballpark where you have to do that. Great changeup. Milledge is going to be interesting to watch, because what will the Pirates do with him if he doesn't hit for any power at all? He has no home runs on the year. 29 in his first 4 big league seasons, so not a big power hitter. He hit 4 in 58 games for the Pirates last year. Up the middle, Guzman can't get it. Garrett Jones coming home, and this game is tied. The ball hits the underside of the mound and gets away from Will Nieves. I'm not sure why Will was that far out in front of home plate. And when the ball hit the home plate side of the mound, it stayed down and skipped right by him. And they'll give Niger Morgan a throwing error for that.
Well, there's a couple of bad things that happened on this play. John Lannon didn't get behind Will Nieves to back up home, and the throw never should have come to the plate. Jones is going to score easily right here, and Niger needs to hit the cutoff. We've said it so many times. And he just throws it right through the cutoff and right by Will Nieves.
I think Will came up
to try to make sure he wouldn't throw home.
Yeah, because if Will's thinking, okay, he missed the cutoff man. If the runner tries to go to second, I'll throw him out. Well, he was so far out in front of home plate, the ball got away from him. So the Pirates have tied the game here in the 3rd. Ronnie Cedeno, the hitter, and because the Nats just gave Pittsburgh 90 feet, they will score again. And Niger misses the cutoff man again, and the hitter ends up at second base. This is not smart baseball. You're not going to throw out Lastings Milledge on a 2-out hit up the middle.
No. I mean, you're running on contact with 2 outs, and that's just smart baseball stuff. Knowing that this ball is just struck well, hit the cutoff, keep the guy at first base, and you have no chance. You got to recognize also that Milledge is a very fast runner. He's got some great skills, and it's just throwing the ball around. It's not necessary.
RBI hit, second on the throw. And the Pirates now lead 3-2 with a walk, 2 steals, which came on 1 pitch, a double steal, 3 hits and an error. And they'll walk Jaramillo to get to the pitcher who has a base hit already.
Well, and what I mean by not necessary, you're beating yourself. When you're throwing the ball around and you're throwing the ball past your catcher, you're throwing it over the cutoff man's head, and that's the thing that will steam that guy's butt. Jim Riggleman is not happy right now.
One thing Riggleman told me in our blog visit today about last night's game, he said, it sure gave our defensive night off because of all the swings and misses.
But he's still not happy about the poor defense.
He shouldn't be.
He knows this is a better ball club. They can play better defense, and it's just being smart, knowing what to do with the ball if it's hit to you before it's hit to you. And, 2 plays in a row, Niger tried to throw the guy off the plate, and he doesn't have the arm to do that.
Here's the pitcher, Lincoln, who singled to the left of Ian Desmond first time up. So suddenly he's the 8th Pirate to face John Lannon here, who appeared to be on the verge of out of trouble when LaRoche hit that RBI ground ball to short.
Well, but here's the thing. When LaRoche gets that hit, and you throw and hit the cutoff man, and okay, you don't turn around, you don't have a shot at Milledge, you throw the guy out and gun him out at second, because he's caught in between first and second. A lot of times, especially with 2 outs, you will trade an out, meaning the first base coach tells the runner that just got the base hit, keep going, and you run right past first, go right to second, so they make a play at you at second, and you hope the run scores before you're thrown out. And that's just good baseball, but throwing it all the way to the plate every time on the fly, that's not good baseball. It's not smart baseball.
2-1 to the pitcher, who chokes up. This one off to the left side.
We did that the first month beautifully. Everything was the way it was supposed to be, throwing to the cutoff, not making mental mistakes, not beating ourselves. Elongated this inning by about 10 to 15 pitches.
Breaking ball up, and Lannon's got it. 2 Adam Dunn, inning over. But the Pirates pick up 3 with a couple of walks, singles, and an error.
Well, the ball that went up the middle, I think Zim thought that Guzzi had a chance to catch it, so he held his position at third, and he was going to be the cutoff man there. But, the latter part of it, with the ball getting through Nieves there, that was the killer. Will just got to not let that ball get past him there, so we keep the runner at first.
And one of the runs unearned in that inning. Pirates lead 3-2, Rob.
And I was going to ask you, you were there when Kerry Wood struck out 20 and you came back the next day. What was the feeling like then, and what was it like today coming back to the stadium after a great performance?
Well, it was good. That one back then I don't remember, but this has been good. Guys came in. We couldn't get on the field today or anything, but, there was plenty of energy and all that stuff and excitement still. But, we got a good professional group of guys who's focused on the game at hand. We just got to go out and try to win this one.
Jim, your assessment of John Lennon so far? He usually gets ground ball outs, but tonight just 2 outs so far on the ground.
Well, I guess, he's thrown several pitches down with some good action on them, but the Pirates have laid off of him. There's been several balls that from here look a little low in a way that, I think he wishes he would get those balls, but he's not getting them. And they've done a good job laying off, which means now you come up with something a little softer and they get that airborne.
Adam Dunn had been hitting a lot of balls, base hits, doubles, and now he's really starting to square the ball up. Is that just a question of, him feeling it at the plate and getting it squared up on the bat?
Yeah, I think lately he's felt like he's really been hitting the ball well, but he was, wondering how come you're not getting a little more airborne, and lately he has. So it's just a matter of time.
Jim, we always appreciate your time, sir. We'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Well played by the pitcher. Brad Lincoln off to the races. Beat Niger Morgan easily for the second out. And the first 2 hitters tonight are 0 for 4. But here comes Zimmerman and possibly Dunn in the third.
No, and I don't doubt that our guys are ready to play on, a nightly basis. I heard a question last night that really irritated me when someone said that, the team looked more focused because Strasburg was pitching. I think that's absurd. Anybody, yourself and myself included, that watches this ball club every night, they're prepared, they play hard. I think, if anything, they play too hard. Desmond tries too hard sometimes. Niger trying on both of those plays. So it's not the effort that they're not giving their best effort. It's just sometimes slow it down in your mind before it happens, and sometimes you can maybe alleviate some of the mistakes.
That might have been the second dumbest question of the night. After Strasburg was asked about his thoughts on starting at Cleveland on Sunday. Are you kidding me? Come on, guys.
No, I mean, let the kid enjoy it. I mean, I think people forget how young he is. That was his first outing. There's a lot about this game, that the sentimental value of some of this stuff. Like it's, I guess we see some of these young kids come up so quickly. It's still a dream come true for you.
Yeah.
Making the major leagues is your ultimate goal as an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, and so when it happens, let the guys soak it in a little bit. I thought that was poignant when he talked about John Smoltz told him before the game, because MLB TV was here, and Bob Costas and Jim Cott, a 25-year veteran, and John Smoltz, a possible future Hall of Famer, and about a 15-year veteran himself, told him, take it all in. Enjoy everything you can.
On a 3-1 pitch, Zimmerman pops it up into the twilight. Garrett Jones finds it, catches it, and the Nats go in order. 6 in a row now for Brad Lincoln. Lots of base hits, though, but not a lot of help from his defense.
No, and we just got to play heads up. Okay, you have to protect the lead. I mean, if this was a basketball league game or a football game or in the NHL and you had the lead, you're protecting it. You play defense according to what the score is. We had the lead, so you want to protect that. Then when it became 2-1, okay, we're still up a run. So use your heads. 2 outs in that inning right there. The one thing that I was taught at an early age, Bob, don't throw the ball around. Just get it in, get it back into the infield. Okay, he gave up a hit, but you start throwing the ball around, that's when bad things happen.
Third big league at bat for Jose Tabata. That's going to be a hit. Nothing Willie Avis can do. And Tabata has 2 infield hits in his first 3 major league career at bats. H.H. Gregg with the TV schedule. Pirates are here again tomorrow night with Levon going against Zach Duke. And then on to Cleveland for 3. Detroit to follow that. Luis Adelano, Jake Westbrook Friday. J.D. Martin, Fausto Carmona Saturday. Steven Strasburg, David Huff, the overshadowed pitcher on Sunday. We understand that ticket sales in Cleveland are very brisk. have been for a week or so, but really accelerated today after what some people in Ohio saw on television last night. And of course, in the place that used to be called Jacobs Field, they used to sell out every night.
I think you're going to see a lot of that wherever Steven Strasburg starts. You're going to see the ticket sales go way up. Jim Riggleman said something very poignant last night. He said, listen, the only way you're going to get continuous crowds like last night is win. You got to put a good product out there. We have a good product out there, but it's up to the players to execute. And we definitely have the talent out there, but we got to be a little bit more heads up.
Neil Walker 1 for 2. Zimmerman about 8 feet beyond the bag at third against a hitter who dragged a bunt right down in front of him first time up tonight. So John Lannon's already given up 7 hits, retiring just 9 batters.
Yeah.
Plus 2 walks.
One was a seeing eye hit up the middle that Christian Guzman couldn't get. Got 2 infield singles by Tabata. About 50% of those haven't been well struck.
Runner going. Nieves late with the throw. And John Lannon's not doing a real strong job of holding runners tonight. That's Jose Tabata's first big league steal.
Well, you see when Pudge Rodriguez is not in the game, some of the things that happen to us and are exposed. And Will Nieves, another short throw before the base. Ian Desmond's more just trying to keep it from going into center field than grabbing it and slapping down a tag.
Tabata stealing 81 bases in the minor leagues coming into this season. Neil Walker now with nobody out can move the runner. And he goes up the middle. And that's going to be an easy run for the Pirates. Nyjer Morgan hits the cutoff man this time, Zimmerman. And Pittsburgh is singling the Nats to death here, leading 4-2.
Bob, you nailed it. I mean, he's not getting the ground ball outs. Right here's a changeup that's going to be up in the zone. And it is just well struck. Line drive right back up the box on a high changeup. And you got to get those. You got to follow through, drive it through the catcher.
2 ground ball outs, and one of them's the opposing pitcher. So here's McCutchen, who has struck out, walked, stolen a base, and scored. Lannon goes soft. The bullpen is busy. Tyler Walker just popped up.
Well, and here's the difference with Strasburg and every other pitcher on our staff. Steven can get away with throwing a high changeup at 91. Yesterday didn't. It left the building. Delman Young's home run. But that's as good as some of our guys' fastballs. Our other pitchers have to pitch to contact, meaning good contact, that they have produced a bad swing on a good changeup down and away, or a jam shot fastball, cut fastball, curveball in on a righty. The rest of the pitching staff can't get away with too many mistakes. And so when they follow up a Steven Strasburg outing, or they're going to be leading into a Steven Strasburg outing, they still have to pitch their game plan. Keep the ball down, make your pitches, locate it, and you have to execute. So you can't worry about what he's doing. We said this before he even got to the big leagues. I'm not worried about Steven Strasburg. I'm worried about the rest of our pitching staff.
ERA has been coming down, 4.13, 11th in the league right now. But starters not pitching that deep in the ball games.
We have one complete game. That kid went out there last night. Arguably could have completed the game. Didn't look like he was getting tired.
And that was Levon at home against the Dodgers. 1-0 win on a Sunday afternoon. Village hammers that ball to right center. Nyjer Morgan tracks it and goes over to grab it for the first down.
But see, here's the thing. People were so excited because of what Steven Strasburg did. Does that say more about the bad pitching we've witnessed for the last few years here? Or is it just the fact that it was such a great outing that, all the other outings are pale in comparison? No. Nobody's going to pitch like that every outing. Not even Strasburg. but you need more consistent, deep into ball game efforts, 3 runs or less, 7, 8 innings into ball games, and that's how you turn this team into a winning franchise.
Here goes another runner, and a throw short that skips into center field. Neil Walker and the Pirates are just taking liberties, and this is really not supposed to happen, Rob, when you have a left-handed pitcher on the mound staring down runners.
Well, it's some of our weaknesses are being exposed right here. You know, John Lannon's not doing a good job of holding him on first. They get nice jumps, and then you've got a catcher that keeps short hop second base. So, you know, for me, I need my backup catcher to be able to throw people out. He might not hit, and that's okay, but you know, we're talking about guys like Henry Blanco, you know, up in Toronto. You got Jose Molina, one of the best backup catchers, and one of the reasons I think the Yankees won the World Series last year. So you got to be strong in other areas if you're not going to be an offensive threat.
And I think what Will needs to do, right now he's kind of like a pitcher who's trying to make a perfect pitch every time.
Right.
Will needs to make sure he just fires it down
and be quick.
Gets it chest high to the infielder and let the infielder worry about the tag. I think Will's trying to make the throw and the tag himself
and you
by
can't
putting
do
the
that.
ball right on the bat.
Here's the thing. As a pitcher, I make my pitch. It's up to the catcher to catch it. And as a catcher, you make your throw to second base. It's up to the middle infielder to pick that thing off and catch it. Once it leaves your hand, you can't worry about whether or not that guy's going to catch it or not. You just make a strong throw, and then that's it. It's out of your control.
So the Nats have made 2 errors already, and they're both from up the middle players, the catcher and the center fielder.
I mean, you have to be strong up the middle. Catcher, center field, shortstop, second base. If those guys are making continuous errors or mental mistakes, something's got to happen. You can't just keep going on like that.
Lannon on a changeup strikes out Garrett Jones. A changeup from a left-hander to a left-hander.
Well, it's a great call because it's something that we've never really seen him do. But right here, it's very effective because he throws the changeup. The big thing that he's had a problem with has been batting average against left-handed guys this year.
That changeup was sitting up on that inside corner. The Nats are lucky Jones made no contact. And here's Andy LaRoche. Backdoor breaking ball stays outside. Pirates have out-hit the Nationals 8-2. And they don't have a single extra base hit. One hopper to Zimmerman. Ryan to Dunn. Inning over. Lannon had to retire the last 3 batters. Dunn coming up. He homered first time up. along with this fly ball.
Well, Brad Lincoln, rookie, tests one of the best power men in the business the last half dozen years, and he loses the battle. You're going to put a fastball right down Broadway, you better expect a guy like Dunn to greet you with that kind of power.
Adam now tied with Ryan Zimmerman for the team home run lead. Willingham 38 RBIs, Zimmerman 33, Dunn 31. Plus 2, pardon me, 2-run homer, so it's 32. So the big guys are getting it done, but tonight the table setters have not been aboard. Dunn and Bernardina have the only hits. Adam Dunn hooks one, but right there in right field is Neil Walker, the second baseman, on the shift.
Well, Lincoln threw a sinker, curveball, and then a nice fastball in the outer half located perfectly. Adam Dunn goes out and gets it, but all he can do is hit that kind of soft liner into the shift. So this is a rookie making his debut tonight, and he's locating the pitches better than John Lanning.
Willingham's ball eats up Andy LaRoche, and you would think base hit. It is.
It's not velocity, it's location, and right there, pitch down and in. And I guess they didn't learn a lot. He should have watched the home run that Willingham hit last night. Anything from the middle of the plate in to Josh Willingham, unless it's way in to where he can't get a good hack at it, he's going to kill it.
Next up, Roger Bernardina, who doubled his first time.
And it's not going to make Andy LaRoche happy having to try to stop those bullets.
That's a do-or-die play for a third baseman.
Last time Bernardina wailed on a fastball by Lincoln, so he starts him off with a changeup.
Bernardina hitting .257. And a take on a pitch up 2-0.
Nationals have a very good opportunity right now. We should take a couple more games from the Pirates, take 2 out of 3 at least from Cleveland. You got to beat these teams that are under 500.
That ball's well hit, heading for the scoreboard. It hits in the short hop to the base of the wall. McCutchen fumbles, and that will give Willingham a chance to score. They could give McCutchen an error for the fumble. I'm not sure if Pat Listash was going to send Willingham with 1 out. And the Nats make it a 4-3 game.
Well, as I was going to say, we need to beat up on these teams that aren't playing that well and aren't as superior as we are to them. And Bernardina right here gets a pitch that he can handle. McCutchen right here. It's a mistake you cannot make at the major league level. He doesn't pick it off the wall cleanly, and a run comes in.
I haven't heard any announcement about an error. If it's not an error, Bernardina gets an RBI, and the Nats are back to within 1, and Roger Bernardina has a pair of doubles tonight.
Well, and that's the same thing I was saying about our defense. You have the lead now, and you don't protect it.
Now they have given an error, so no RBI.
But it was just sloppy. You know, McCutchen's known as a good young player, but even the best young players or the best old players, you can't take your eye off the ball. You catch the ball, you throw it back in, it's second and third, and you try to have your pitcher has a chance to still work out of a jam. You don't want to give away outs or give away runs.
Well, now they show no error on the scoreboard. There was one up there a moment ago.
Yeah, they wiped it off and they gave it back to us.
In fact, it was strange. Yeah,
it was 1 error for them, 1 for us.
Yeah,
wait a second, that's not how it works.
Well, I guess when there's no announcement, no error. And here's Desmond, who could tie the game now. So at least for the moment, Bernardina has his 16th RBI of the year.
Not so much that it was an error like physically. It was just a mental mistake. It was sloppy. There was some sloppy play right there. And once again, you got a 2-run lead, and you're just going to give it all back. It's just not smart baseball.
I think they were holding Willingham at third when this took place.
Well, and you just pick it up and throw it in. Well, he lets it go over his head because I don't know what he's thinking about.
Desmond gets a fastball. That ball is off the glove of Millage. Coming in to score, Bernardina. The Nats tie the game on a ball that should have been caught. And we've seen that before. So the Nats get back-to-back doubles and 3 hits here, if indeed it is a hit.
Well, this is just a great job by everybody involved right here. Ian Desmond gets jammed, gets it out there. Lastings Millage makes a bad decision, tries to make a great play, and he makes a great play into a bad play because now it gets our guy Desmond to second base instead of playing that single. And here's the hustle, 150 miles an hour all the time by Ian Desmond. So he easily takes second base and puts himself in scoring position.
Double RBI for Desmond. Will Nieves goes up hacking. And Millage misjudges that ball. Tagging and going to third, Desmond. Lastings Millage almost had a disaster on his hands. We saw him run some real bad routes to balls in the outfield as a Nat. And this almost got over his head.
Fastball up. Will Nieves loves to go to right field. Very well struck. Lastings Millage, for some reason, just kind of slowly fading back on the ball, not thinking it was going to be over his head.
Lannon gets one over the mound, and Cedeno can't handle it. The Nationals take the lead. Rob said, pitcher, get the bat on the ball. You never know what will happen.
Well, and our defense shouldn't be playing at the Pirates level right now. They don't have the players we have, and we know it. But this is just a play that needs to be made. Ronnie Cedeno should know this ball's a jam shot spinning, pitcher running, and he misplays it. And John Lannon gets an infield single. More importantly, he gets a 2-out RBI. A single.
Yeah.
It's a single.
I
It's
would
just
call
sloppy.
that. I would call that a gift from the official score, and the Nats will take it.
Absolutely, because it was sloppily played, should have been an out.
5-4 Nats, bottom of the 4th inning. Top of the order, Guzman.
It's kind of not like whatever you can do, I can do better. It's whatever you can do poorly, I can do worse. I mean, our defense was bad enough. They're just giving us some runs in this inning.
And they haven't been charged with a single error.
which is amazing in its own right. But, I mean, the play by McCutchen, the play by Millage to dive for that ball once again, just play it a single, possibly throw out the runner. I doubt you're going to throw Bernardino out, but get the ball in, keep Ian Desmond at first base.
And then he doesn't score on an infield hit.
Yay. Both managers are scratching their heads right now.
Rob, take a deep breath. Let's see what LaRoche does. He's pretty good. Guzman is 0 for 3, but the Nats pick up 3 and lead 5-4 into the 5th. 5-4 Nats. Crazy fourth inning, the top and the bottom. And the Nats have a lead, and here come the Geico President's Race. For some reason, the Milwaukee Sausages are in town, but they're pretty fake looking.
Those are the phony sausages.
Yeah, and then the Pittsburgh Pierogies are here.
Those are the real deal.
Now watch what happens when the ground crew gets involved. Sausages are trying to, this is like the Tour de France, they're blocking everybody out. But bammo goes the ground crew.
They went after the phony sausages. One of the pierogies got in there, though. I like that. He had the sausages' backs.
And tall Tom Jefferson, evidently tired of being called George. That's funny. And we know funny.
My name is Tom, not George. We know you're TJ.
All I do is read the jersey.
That's right. Jefferson.
Here's Millage. Fastball up. Collected his 17th RBI and a base hit up the middle last time. And Lannon misses with a changeup. Now John has been sent a message by his offense. We've got your back. Put some zeros on the board. We'll see if he can do it. Oh! Each pitcher has only put 2 zeros up on that line score so far. Ron Kulpa calls it a strike, 2-2.
Might have been a little bit off the plate by about 4 to 6 inches, but he gets the call. It's a nice pitch on the outer half.
That's a fair ball, and Millage is off to the races. Bernardina backhands it out of the corner. Leadoff double. First time the Pirates have had an extra base hit.
Lastings Millage coming back to haunt his old ball club, and John Lannon fell behind, got back even with the count, but then made a bad located pitch. Lastings Millage drives it down the right field line. A nice hustle into second base.
Ronnie Cedeno has an RBI hit. In fact, the Pirates have 4 hits from the bottom 3 batters in their order tonight.
Well, and you're right, you are, Bob. I mean, you get the guy 3 runs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. You want him and expect him to go out and put up some more zeros. This is just not going on the way that I'm sure that John Lannon and Will Nieves are going to have a little chit-chat here.
I don't know that there was a cross-up there. Maybe Will was told by the dugout to buy some time for Tyler Walker, who shouldn't need much time. He's up for the second spell of bullpen work this evening. 5th inning just underway, and Pittsburgh has 9 hits.
Well, sometimes a former player is out there at second base, and you just want to make sure you're not using the same signals either. You know, second sign, shake it off, first sign kind of stuff. And Lastings Millage, I don't think he probably was paying attention too much when he was here to what the pitcher-catcher signals were.
You bring up a great point. I do not see Lastings Millage stealing signs.
You think he was out in center field when he was here going, oh, yeah, they're going, you know, fastball, curveball, fastball, and it's a curveball, you know, shake it off, fastball. Okay, yeah, he's not figuring that out there. He's worried about chasing down the ball.
That might have been your keenest insight of the year, Rocco.
Thank you.
2-1. Well, Lastings got himself in trouble the day before opening day when he missed a team meeting in Florida. The team had flown down there the night before from here. On a Sunday at 5 o'clock, he didn't make the meeting. He was in the lineup the next day. And to be quite honest and blunt about it, some of the veteran guys in our ball club were not happy that he was even in the lineup the next day. 2 months later, he was a Pittsburgh Pirate. Three and 1 to Cedeno. Lannon laboring here. And a ball popped up into right center. It's got some carry to it. Nyjer Morgan will run it down in front of the scoreboard. And a poor base running play by Millage. He didn't tag, not close enough to come back to the bag. And, you know, he's a very talented young man, Rob, but he makes one mental mistake after another.
Well, you know, his head's not in the game. And what I mean by that is when this ball is hit, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? The ball gets caught. If you're standing on second, you can almost score with last thing's millage speed. Why he's in between and dancing around, now he's late to get back to the bag, and he can't tag up. But he should have just been standing on second base. If the ball drops, he scores easily. If it's caught, he gets to third, and he's in scoring position. So I don't understand why he messed that play up. That's a pretty simple play.
You know what that was? That was a guy running, not able to read a fly ball, much the same way that when he's in the field. He has a problem reading the flight of fly balls.
You can't be an outfielder at the major league level and have a problem reading the ball.
So the Nats get a huge break.
I agree what you mean. When the ball was struck, he was thinking, okay, that ball might be off the wall, it might be caught, but here's the thing. When in doubt, take the smart play. The smart play is you're very fast. You're going to tag up. There's no way Nyjer Morgan or Roger Bernardina, for that matter, if you've studied our team, are going to throw you out from the right center field wall. So stand on the base, take the easy route to third, and you're in scoring position, and you make your coaching staff very happy.
Jaramillo, the number 8 hitter. That'll hang up for Nyjer Morgan. And Millage better get back. Nyjer double clutched, or might have had a chance for a double play. 2 outs, and Lincoln, the pitcher, will be the hitter. All right, we'll leave Lastings alone now and get a call from the smartphone. Which other rookie struck out 7 straight in his major league debut? Wow.
Well, I know J.R. Richards struck out 15 because I've been reading all the different rookie debuts and all that stuff.
He would be a great candidate for that.
Floyd Yeomans, since he was another guy with this franchise that he struck out 14. That ball's off his leg.
Pirates tie the game. Another hit by a pitcher. So Lincoln is 2 for 3 with an RBI. He's the second opposing rookie pitcher to have a 2-hit game against the Nats in the last 4 ball games.
Another left-handed hitter, too. Even though he's a pitcher, he seems to be a pretty decent athlete, kind of like Mike Leake. And he is going to probably knock Lannon right out of the game.
Just did. 10 hits by the Pirates. John Lannon's been given 5 runs to work with, hasn't been able to hold the league's worst hitting team under 5. He's gone, bullpen on. Greatest Ship. And by Grown Ups in theaters June 25th.
That movie looked very funny. It's like some of the funniest comedians out there right now, all in the same movie.
How much cotton candy has that bro had? 2 outs, 1 on here in the top of the 5th inning, and Tyler Walker trying to shut down the Pirates. Tyler has had a rough season when it comes to inherited runners. He's inherited 18 and 12 have scored. That's very disappointing outing for John Lannon, who got run support tonight. And here's the rookie Jose Tabata, who's 2 for 3. Walker with a first pitch hook for a strike.
Well, and in John's defense, the defense kind of abandoned him at times tonight too. And you need some good defense behind you if you're John Lannon and you're going to survive. You can't be throwing the ball around with 2 outs. You got to play smarter defense. Definitely have the offense to win a lot of ball games, but you're going to get to the postseason on your pitching and defense.
Ball clubs do not get to the postseason or win in the postseason if you don't have pitchers who at times can get the key strikeout.
Well, shut down pitchers.
You
absolutely.
cannot win playoff series, Rob, with sinker slider guys.
No. And, you know, we do have too many of the same type of pitcher. You know, whether it's J.D. Martin or, you know, Adelano or Craig Stammen or John Lannon. I mean, we have a lot of the same guys. So the guys that are going to step up are going to be the ones that make teams like the Pirates not only swing and miss, but when they do hit the ball, they don't wail on the ball. They hit ground balls. You get 13 to 15 ground ball outs. When you go out there for 7 innings, you go out there and you're efficient, throwing 12-pitch innings, 10-pitch innings. It just seems like we work way too hard for far too little, too few outs.
And by the way, we must acknowledge our old Virginia friend, former Nats coach Tony Beasley over at third base for the Pirates. One of the true gentlemen in this game. There's Tony, who was on Frank Robinson's staff here.
Well, and what did Steven threw, what, 92, 94 pitches last
94.
night? 94 pitches. Got 21 outs, 14 by the strikeout.
His pitch count strikingly similar to Lannon's.
Yes.
92 for John tonight,
John
53
Lannon,
strikes.
There you go. 92 pitches. Got 14 outs, allowed 5 runs, 10 hits. So, I mean, you just, and obviously their stuff is not the same. But if you don't have Steven Strasburg's stuff, you have to be that much better in certain areas. And pitching to contact, Jamie Moyer's got 250 wins. And John Lannon's got better stuff than Jamie Moyer. But you have to locate, you have to execute. And it's just a question of, I think a lot of guys have been, you know, living on borrowed time. And this organization, I don't see them just sticking with a bunch of guys for the next couple of years, losing 100 games a year. I see them drafting better players. I see them signing better players. So you should be worried about your job at this point.
So Walker walks the first man he faces, and Neil Walker will be next. I'm not sure I like the verbiage of this inning. Neil Walker's 2 for 3 with an RBI. He is still in the base. He's a local kid out of Pittsburgh. Went to Pine Richland High School. He had 657 as a senior before the Pirates made him their #1 pick in 04. And his dad, Tom, was a pitcher in the big leagues for 4 different ball clubs back in the 70s. Off speed, well done by Tyler Walker. No balls, 2 strikes. Andrew McCutchen next.
Drew McCutcheon. That name reminds me of, was it Lawrence McCutcheon, running back?
I think this guy's just as fast.
Yeah, but that guy was nails. He'd run right into a line and smoke a bunch of people.
Now Sean Burnett, a former Pirate, getting ready.
It's payback.
Five, top of the fifth.
Yeah, that one in Philly, is that canceled, that Halladay-Johnson game?
Yes.
Man.
Roy Halladay, Josh Johnson in the rain.
And it got canceled. Man, there's some upset people there in Philly.
San Diego at the Mets, the same thing. That ball hacked out to center. Nyjer Morgan on the run. Pitchers aren't fooling much of anyone tonight in this 5-5 game. Suddenly, Levon now hasn't won a ball game in 5 weeks. He has suffered from a lack of run support. Zach Duke will go for the Pirates, and he's 1-1 in 4 career starts against the Nationals. Night game tomorrow before the Nats will hop on the plane and head for Cleveland, and there's your matchup. Levon still has one of the best ERAs in the league. That 2.22 is tied with Mike Leake for number 7 in the National League, but he's just not getting the W's. And of course, as always, Nats Extra, 6:30 with Johnny and Ray. Nyjer Morgan plays leadoff man in the bottom of the 5th. Shows bunt, draws LaRoche in from third and takes ball 1. Nyjer for 2 tonight, pulling the ball twice. Fly ball to right, bouncer to first. Drafted by the Pirates 8 years ago in the 33rd round. Spent 4 years in the Pittsburgh system in the minors, hitting .293 with 190 steals before making it to the big club in '07. That's one of the things about Nyjer. He's never really been a full-time, everyday player at the big league level. So still trying to establish himself in that right. Had a good season last year, really, in both towns. He was hitting .277 in Pittsburgh, then a very impressive .351 over here. So combined, he hit .307 last year. Great effort by Tabata, but a ball that's unreachable.
I laugh because once again, you hold your breath when you see a kid in his first game in the major leagues, all-out effort, and sliding is the quickest way to stop, but you don't like to have a kid slide into the concrete wall.
And the ball girl got a good jump on that ball, too. She was out of dodge there. Dangerous times down there.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're both tough corners at this ballpark.
And Morgan lines out to Neil Walker. You know, and if you're wondering why all the ballparks have those corners like that, there's a very simple reason. If you don't, the seats are facing center field because they swing the seats around to face the infield for a better view down there. That's why you have the corners that come jutting out there, or else you'd have people sitting there all night looking to their left 90 degrees to see home plate. And that's what all the new ballparks feature. That's one of those better sight lines that all these parks have. Makes for some interesting outfield play, to say the least.
Well, and the outfielders have to be aware. You know, whether you're a rookie outfielder or 10-year veteran, when you come into someone else's ballpark, you have to study the outfield lines and the architecture and the quirks. And this is one of the quirkiest outfield walls I've ever seen. You know, there's so many things that are jetting in, jetting out in right center field where it's angled back towards the infield. There's a lot of ways to lose balls coming back towards the infield if you're not careful.
Well, the guy that I did some games with many years ago, who was one of the best outfielders of his generation, Fred Lynn, told me that whenever he came to a new ballpark, the first thing he did was check the flags at certain times of the day to see what the wind was doing.
Right.
And then he would use batting practice to go around to all the different spots in the outfield for his position. And he was a center fielder, to make sure that he knew every angle and bounce out there. Rob, he wasn't sitting around just chatting with one of his teammates. Zimmerman gets a nasty breaking ball. He knew it, and he walks away.
I know one of my favorite players still is in the big leagues with the White Sox, Juan Pierre. Juan Pierre every day will come out and test the first base line and the third base line on how the ball is rolling off the grass towards the foul line for bunts, slow rollers, things like that might help his game and might be that critical extra run that wins the ball game. So it's those little things that you do on a daily basis that set you apart, not just as a major leaguer. This is what you do for a living. This is what you're getting paid to do. So you should know the ins and outs of a ballpark like this, or Fenway, or any other ballpark for that matter.
Adam Dunn swinging a very good bat. He's homered. He's lined out hard to right. And hitting .282. Have to look down the list here and see what his highest batting average ever has been in the big leagues. Long way to go in this season. But Adam is 30-some points higher. Right now, the highest average I'm finding is .266 back in '04. Well, and then I take that back. He hits .267 here last year, 1 point higher. I forgot to look at last year. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. And the Nats are gone. Brad Lincoln is surviving at this point in a 5-5 game. the bullpen will put the pitching coach and the manager in the comfort zone tonight.
Hopefully the bullpen will wrap itself around the game like a pair of good Hanes.
Listen to you. What do you have, a degree in marketing now, too?
No. I watch a lot of TV.
Wait till we get our Hanes on you,
That's
they
right.
used to say.
Charlie Sheen and Michael Jordan.
I don't think
I like the one with
I don't think Michael has returned Charlie's call yet, do you?
Cuba Gooding Jr. and his he gets those Hanes in his dressing room and comes back and he's hugging out Michael. That was a good.
This ball's pretty well hit. Bernardina gets back on the track and grabs the drive by Andrew McCutchen, who's 0 for 3. So the number 3 hitter doesn't have a hit, but he's walked and scored. And here are the rest of the battling Buccos tonight. They've had offense all up and down their lineup. LaRoche doesn't have a hit, but he has an RBI grounder. The pitcher, Brad Lincoln, has 2 hits. A busy box for the Bucks tonight.
Oh, how about the pitcher? Lincoln's got an RBI, a couple singles. He's battling. Maybe not one of the greatest debuts in the world, but it's his debut, and he's living it up in every part of it.
Here's Garrett Jones 0 for 2, or rather 1 for 3. 2 outs around the base hit with a single, a steal, and a run back in the third.
And Brad Lincoln's defense is kind of deserting him. Tough night for defenses.
Under ideal playing conditions, really. Field's nice and soft. Just some sprinkles of rain all day. Tarp came off probably within an hour before the game. And a 2-0 from Walker to Jones. Dangerous left-handed batter here. Hit a bunch of homers when the Pirates called him up last year. By the way, we just got a note from John Dever, our senior director of baseball media relations. The Cleveland Indians sold 3,000 tickets today for Sunday's Nats-Indians Steven Strasburg start.
But that was after they sold 4,000 the other day when they were trying to figure out if he would start in Cleveland when he got called up to the big leagues. So.
And it looks like Steven's next start here will be, and this isn't set in stone, so you know we're just going by the rotation, but it appears
Friday
to be
the 18th.
Friday night when the White Sox are here.
Ho, 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 ho. These people be crazy on a Friday night. Strasburg mania. Fireworks night. Strasburg pitching. Well, it's Mark Burley. You know it'll be a quick game. Mark Burley works quickly.
He pitches like he's double parked. 3-2 to Jones. Another long count here for Tyler Walker.
Ian Desmond and Mark Burley are praying that Joe West is not in that series. No firing. I do think Mark Burley drops his glove and he gets ejected in the third inning of the ball game. Man, I waited 4 days for this.
Crazy times.
Yes, they are. Yes,
you know, but everybody I've talked to around the country today, and I know you've done your share of interviews, everybody says, you know what happened last night in Washington? That's really good for baseball because your town needs that. Our fans need it. And what happens, you know, I mean, you're always going to have the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Dodgers, Cardinals, all the teams that win on a regular basis. But when something special starts happening where a team's been struggling, it's good for the game. Get that competitive balance back where it should be all around baseball. And the Nats' center of attention yesterday, it sure felt good.
Well, it was a playoff atmosphere last night, and then you come back and it's kind of a muggy, humid day, not the same fanfare, and it just, I kind of think the play has reflected it. I mean, even last night, the Pirates were playing their butts off. Jeff Karstens, for a time, I mean, he threw 60 pitches, about 46 for strikes. I mean, he was wheeling and dealing too.
43 of his first 58 were strikes before the 3-run barrage in the 6th. All right, who's the other rookie who struck out 7 straight in his major league debut?
I'll say J.R. Richard.
The AT&T smartphone's going to tell us.
Sammy Stewart.
How do we miss that?
Wow. How many did he end up with?
I'm sure there's a media guide somewhere that'll tell us. Left side, Zimmerman, Guzman, and a 5-4-3 doubling up Andy LaRoche. And the defense comes to the forefront to get a couple of outs in the sixth. Willingham leads off, tie game.
Trying to get some kind of momentum going, get the offense going, get the blood flowing. And right now, in a 5-5 game, you just want anything to go your way. And there you go. Base hit by Josh Willingham.
And the hammer is 2 for 3 tonight. Josh came in hitting .278, so he's in the 280s now. And Roger Bernardina's really had a good night.
Well, this is a great catch right here. Scared the heck out of me. Bernardina coming in, Guzman going underneath him, and makes a great grab, comes back, slams the first of 2 doubles. You see him cruising in, and then the second one. He just got that one right off the wall. Andrew McCutcheon bumbling, stumbling the ball out in center field, and then Josh Willingham can take an extra base and come home, and that led to 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
So Bernardina's 2 hits get him up to 264. He's collected his 16th RBI, driving the ball to the gaps. Now, we know he's not going to hit a lot of home runs, even though he hit 2 in one day at New York, the only 2 of the year. But when he shows the gap power that we're seeing tonight, he's going to be very impressive.
He is as dangerous as they come, as fast a player as I've ever seen. He's built for speed. He is built. If you had a mold for a baseball player that you could throw out there, this guy would be in it. You know, he's got the arm, he's got the speed, the size. Very quiet. Doesn't do a whole lot other than come to the ballpark ready to play. So, like you said, he gets a few more hits a night, or an extra hit here, an extra hit there, a home run there, and continue to progress and evolve as an outfielder. This guy's going to be an everyday player for us.
And a pitch diving down and away, heading full. Counts even 1-1. 17 hits in the ball game. The Nationals have now collected 5 in the last 3 innings. Here's Brad Lincoln still sticking around, battling it out. He's in his 6th inning of his major league career. On an off-speed pitch and a good take by Roger, 2-1. Ian Desmond has contributed with a double off the glove of Lastings Milledge last time. A 2-home run game by Bernardino, the only 2 of his big league career. He drives it again to the gap, and Milledge will go over and grab it this time. Lastings Milledge closed on it, made a fine play.
Yeah, they were guarding the gap that time. They do have a lot of speed out there with Tabata, McCutchen, and Milledge. They have a lot of speed controlling the outfield.
He shows you flashes of talent that intrigue you. And here's the Nats box score. Look at that. It's all bunched in the middle. 0 for 6, Guzman and Morgan. Willie Avis 0 for 2, and then everything pretty much bunched from the 4 spot through number 7. Desmond's hit the ball to right field twice. A fly ball caught. A line drive not caught. Went for a double. Long pause here. I think Desmond was on the verge of asking for time before Lincoln went to first. Willingham hasn't stolen a base in a while. Josh 5 out of 5 early in the season. And teams weren't thinking about it. They're paying him more attention now. And a chopper to third. LaRoche across the diamond. Didn't really have a play at second base because of the slow roller. And it'll be up to Nieves with 2 outs. Come on out Saturday, June 12th, the first blood drive of the year. The Nationals and the Inova Blood Donor Services from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Everybody who participates receives 2 tickets to a future game, a limited edition Bloodhound from Build-A-Bear, and have a chance to win other great prizes. 866 Blood Saves. That's 866-256-6372, or go to the website and make your appointment to donate today. Will Nieves is 3 for his last 30. Last time he left the strike zone, went upstairs and fly deep to right. And a breaking ball is low. Time to start talking about the bench with Willie Harris on deck. One of 2 lefties with Adam Kennedy. Michael Morse, Alberto Gonzalez, the other right-handers, and the last man to be called upon would be Pudge Rodriguez. I asked Jim Riggleman today on our video blog on MASNsports.com what he's thinking in terms of who to DH in Cleveland and Detroit. And Jim said he's going to spread it around. He'll give Adam Dunn a day off here and there. Maybe even Zimmerman, let him DH one day, or a Willingham. A chance to get maybe stronger defensive guys at certain positions, Rob, and give some of your big guns a well-deserved, not like it's really a day off.
Yeah,
but it is.
It's a day off from the field.
Exactly, and that's big.
Yeah, and it gets other guys maybe into the lineup, like an Adam Kennedy or a Mike Morse or a Willie Harris, even Alberto Gonzalez, who's definitely deserved.
Kennedy and Gonzalez have had very few at-bats lately.
But they both have done a wonderful job for this ball club this year, and they deserve to play. But it's a numbers game at this point.
But the Nats will employ the DH for 6 games on the road trip. And then the Royals and the White Sox come in here. First time either of them will be at this ballpark. And that's outside, 3-1. Pitcher spot on deck, but Willie Harris waiting. Roberto Gonzalez may be primed for some action tonight. Three and one in the Avis. Target way out there. Got to take that one. 2 on, 2 out for Willie Harris.
I don't know if you wanted to do that if you were Brad Walker. You walked a light hitting backup catcher to get to Willie Harris, a guy with a lot of pop in his bat, and a left-handed hitter. So we'll have to see if this Joe Kerrigan, by the way, going to run out and talk to him.
Well, Rob, I totally agree with you. This isn't like having the pitcher on deck. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. It just looks like the Pirates are in no hurry whatsoever to get into their bullpen tonight. A lot of adversity. The one thing about Brad Lincoln, after already giving up 5 runs on 7 hits, things happen quickly when he pitches, so his pitch count at this stage of a ball game is pretty reasonable. Willie Harris as a pinch hitter, 4 for 15, but 5 RBIs. He's really made his pinch hits count. First pitch breaking ball. That's a lot fewer opportunities than the Pirates with runners in scoring position. John Lennon had to deal with base runners all night long. That's why the Pirates had 14 at bats in that situation. Tyler Walker got the Nationals a scoreless inning in the 3rd. He did walk a couple, didn't give up any hits. Not great speed out there, Willingham and Nieves. And Walker got that big double play ball to get the ball game into the bottom of the 6th. Good count for Willie here. And he takes the fastball high. One pitch away from bases loaded for a hungry hitter who's 0 for 3 tonight, Christian Guzman.
I mean, the numbers might not be representative of Lincoln, but he's got some nice stuff. He locates the ball well, has some good off-speed stuff. He's definitely going to be a guy that sticks around with the Pirates for a while.
Willie Harris tries to pull a pitch away, and that's a grounder to second. The Nats lead 2. They've stranded 4. The Pirates 9 into the late innings, a tie game.
more on defense. Drew Storen, our new pitcher, into the ball game. Rookie out of Stanford, Bob. Doing very nicely for the Nats so far.
He's been a busy young guy since the Nats called him up 3 weeks ago. 10 appearances. Very good ERA of 1.93. Only 6 hits in 9 innings. 2 earned runs. 6 strikeouts, 5 walks, and the league only hitting 188 against him. First time he sees the Pittsburgh ball club. And a tie game, top 7, with Millage, Cedeno, and Jaramillo for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They have hit the Nationals 10-7. .96 outside.
And you brought up last night's Millage, and there's no doubt there's some talent within that guy. You know, whether it's the speed, the ability to hit a baseball, throw a baseball, but it takes more to be a major leaguer than just ability.
He teases you.
He teases you. He shows you flashes of greatness, but it's a question of you have to be cerebral at this level. There's so many little things and nuances in the game that if you get those down, you don't even need as much talent as Millage to be an excellent ball player.
Drew Storen hung him a breaking ball up and in. And Lastings Millage is 3 for 4 tonight.
Well,
so when he's on your team, you take the bad with the good.
Oh, yeah. And, well, here's the thing, too. For Drew Storen, you've never faced Millage. You know, and so to go to a breaking ball that quickly in the count, you're helping Millage. He's never seen your best stuff, which is your 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. And, you know, one thing that will stay with me until, you know, Strasburg's next start, his next 100 or 200 starts, is that he recognized already what I've been trying to tell guys like Drew Storen, Joel Hanrahan over there. Listen, until somebody shows you that they can hit your best pitch, don't throw them another pitch. Don't throw him a hittable breaking ball or a hittable changeup. You know, they have to respect your 95, and you know, you don't give them too much respect too early. And that's what Strasburg said. He said, you know what, I gave too many of these guys too much respect, and it cost me. Meaning, he got beat on his secondary pitches when he throws 100 miles an hour. There's really no cause for that.
Gave up the changeup for a homer to Delwyn Young and then slammed the door in the face of the Pirates after that.
But as long as you keep learning every day, whether you're in the big leagues or you're us, I mean, that's what baseball's all about. You never have this whole thing figured out.
The Bucks do have a couple of left-handers off the bench. Ryan Church, Aki Iwamura. Some switch hitters in Delwyn Young and Ryan Domit. And one right-handed bat, Bobby Crosby. And Storen, that's not some little calling card toss over to first. He fired that to Adam Dunn. Millage is another young guy who's fast, but not a base stealer. He's 4 for 6. Man. And he really winds up and throws over them.
And part of being a good base stealer would be studying your opponent, studying the other pitchers, knowing their times, things like that. And you know, like a guy, a Hall of Famer like Ricky Henderson, he knew every pitcher that he ever stole off of. He knew when that guy was going to break and lift that front leg or do a little move at first. I mean, he had you down before he even got to first base.
Millage is running. That ball driven to right center. Hanging up for Niger Morgan. He'll cut in front of Bernardina. And a very important first out. No advancement by the runner. H.H. Gregg with our upcoming TV schedule. Same time, Mass and 2HD tomorrow night. Levon and Zach Duke. And then it's on to Cleveland on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then on to Detroit after a day off on Tuesday.
Is this Strasmus Day?
In Cleveland it is. Jaramillo breaks his back. Desmond waits for the ball, throws high, tag, double play. 7th inning stretch time. The Nats, for the 2nd consecutive inning, close out the Bucks with a twin killing. He had to be patient here. Played it well. That will serve him well early, middle, and late in his major league career. You know, Rob, you know the day-to-day emotions of this ballgame. You cannot ride a roller coaster of emotion for 6 months.
No, you cannot. You're not mentally equipped to do that. It's a roller coaster, a lot of peaks and valleys. That was a peak. There's going to be valleys. And I think Tony Gwynn prepared him for it. As I say again, one of the interviews I heard him do down when he was doing his stuff down in the minor leagues, he said, listen, you know, Tony Gwynn told him to be a professional every day, told him to work hard every day, and I think he does all of that because he knows there's going to be some bad times. There's going to be some games that he just, you know, the other team has his number or he just isn't on that day. He doesn't feel perfect. Base hit by Christian Guzman. But the bottom line is for a guy like Steven Strasburg, okay, now he's here, now he's doing it, now he's got to get into a routine of what is my role on this ball club. My role every 5th day will be to try to keep this team in the game. Yeah, all the other stuff was great, but the one thing you see from Strasburg, he's very humble. He gives all the other guys a lot of credit, and he doesn't put it all on himself. And so as long as he stays true to himself and he's not too conceited and not too overconfident, the kid's going to do very well at this level.
Wow, conceited. I haven't heard that word since high school.
That's the last time I cheated on someone next to me trying to spell it.
Morgan lays down a bunt, and it's a good one. He'll make them hurry to get him. And that's textbook by Nyjer Morgan, who gets the 1-4 sacrifice. How big was Zimmerman's homer to get the Nats off to a good start last night?
I don't know. Would you say icebreaker?
Yeah.
You know, getting the lead early in anybody's debut is a big deal, but just that was playoff atmosphere. That was a Super Bowl type day. I mean, it was incredible. And this is Jim Riggleman's words, the aura that was going on around the stadium yesterday, and it was so much fun to be a part of. But the game being played, it was just a lot of tension and pressure down on the field. It was just a Tuesday night ball game, the regular season of Major League season. It was very, very intense.
Ryan
I guess
Zimmerman,
3 hours.
Zimmerman might have had the line of the day after
Oh, yes.
Strasburg's great performance. He said, well, I guess my 5 minutes of fame are up. Well, it's been 5 years, Ryan. And we think Ryan's in for 10 or 12 more.
And anybody, and you and I are both privy and blessed to be around him on a daily basis. That is Ryan Zimmerman. He is self-deprecating, and he is just a very quick-witted guy. Quiet, very shy, but he always throws out some funny stuff. 5 minutes of fame, please. Trust me, we have just as much fun watching him on a daily basis, picking the ball up with his bare hands. Thing is, I can appreciate that because I know I could never do that as a player at any level. That is one of the most difficult things to do as a third baseman. He does it with regularity.
Seemingly easy.
And he got ripped off again tonight. That guy was out at first.
Zimmerman off the pitcher. The Nats will score. Guzman home. And Ryan Zimmerman drives in a run. His 34th of the year. He's at his best when he hits the ball up the middle and to right center. And that one scorched off the leg of DJ Carrasco.
Well, what scares you about hitters like Zimmerman, he reminds me a lot about like Eddie Murray. And when Eddie Murray would get a ball away and drive it back up the middle, this would scare the heck out of anybody. Don't like to see guys like Zimmerman, even a inside-out swing like that, get his arms extended, and Guzman scores easily.
Ball ricocheted just like the one did off of John Lannon earlier tonight.
I thought
here's
John's
Adam
had
Dunn.
more distance. John got his ball off his leg to the outfield.
The shift is on. And with the runner aboard at first, there's nobody at all down the third baseline.
And there's nobody roving, though, in front of Village. Maybe he could land one in there.
That's because they're trying to turn a double play. But Adam Dunn is not that much of a ground ball hitter.
Look, we got one there, and one there, but they're all on the dirt. Go ahead. Try and stop one of those Dunn smashes on the ground.
Well, Rob, you look at this defense, and you figure they're going to try to keep the ball down in the zone against Dunn to get a ground ball. Now that pitch is up and in, 2-1. Tyler Clippard had what Jim Riggleman called a clean 8th inning last night, even though he gave up a hit. He had dynamite stuff with a couple of strikeouts.
No, he's been a tremendous bridge, and he gets better every outing.
Off speed outside, 3-1.
And it really helps Jim Riggleman knowing that he's got guys like Drew Storen down there, Tyler Clippard to get it to Caps. Caps will be fine.
Dunn gets jammed, and that ball is caught on some good range by Ronnie Cedeno. Or Walker? Or was that Walker?
No, that was LaRoche.
Oh, they took the third baseman and moved him over there and left Cedeno at short.
And moved Walker over towards first base. So Andy LaRoche right here. Pretty good play by third baseman playing second base. Neil Walker saying, hey, I'll give you a help. Nah, he didn't need it.
Well done by LaRoche, 2 outs, and the hitter Willingham. More and more teams are starting to do that, taking the third baseman, moving him all the way over, leaving the shortstop.
And I think we both agree that leaving the shortstop home is the best play.
Now the Nats don't do that when they shift against teams because Ryan Zimmerman's just as good in a shortstop situation there as he is at third.
Did Zim play shortstop at Virginia or third?
He played some short because Mark Reynolds was at third base. Yeah. And Reynolds was a little older. He was the senior guy.
Now, did they play against David Wright in high school or college?
Ryan played against David Wright in youth baseball and all that stuff in the Tidewater era.
That had a pretty good league. Now, they were telling me that Stanton, remember you talked about that Cobb League down in Georgia?
Yeah. Cobb County.
Yeah, that's where Stanton came out.
Matt Capps was there. And of course, Jeff Francoeur, Brian McCann. That's why the Braves have drafted so many local players in recent years coming out of that Cobb County program. That Jason Hayward is their latest crown jewel. Runner going. Zimmerman is out on a very good throw by Jason Jaramillo. So the Nats are gone in the 7th. They do score a run to take a 6-5 lead. Aki Iwamura off the Pirates bench here.
Great year, 39 innings pitched, 23 hits. The league hitting $178 off of him. 17 walks against 46 strikeouts.
Iwamura, 31-year-old infielder who played 9 years for the Yakult ball club in Japan. 3 years with Tampa Bay. He hit .300 career in Japan and was a 5-time All-Star, an MVP, and he won 6 Gold Gloves. But after hitting .290 last year for the Rays, they let him go, and he was hurt badly in a collision with Florida's Chris Coughlin in late May and was out 3 months, tore his ACL.
And just like Ichiro and Fukudome, he's got that running down first base type step in the bucket swing. See that front leg will open up, the gate opens up, and he's already running down the first baseline. So you don't want to throw it from the middle in on this guy. You want to throw hard stuff away.
He hit .285, .274, and .290 in 3 years at Tampa Bay. They got him from the Rays for pitcher Jesse Chavez on November 3rd. The rookie Tabata on deck. And a 1-2 from Clipper. Goes after him hard and blows him away. Well, Rob, you talk about this all the time. No soft stuff to hitters like that at the bottom of an order.
And a pinch hitter. He's been sitting around all day. They didn't get to come out and take live BP because of the tarps. And he comes up and he goes down looking for a ball from the middle in. Good recognition by the pitcher-catcher combo there.
Tyler Clippard has now struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced in this series. Tabata gets Zimmerman on the move by showing bunt. In his major league debut, he's 2 for 3 with a walk, a pair of singles, a stolen base, and a run scored. Right on the corner. Tyler Clippard working quickly.
Walker's a nice player. Nice defender. Nice offensive threat.
The Pirates are trying to develop some young talent from their farm system.
Yeah, but keep it. When it gets good enough, right around arbitration, hold on to them. Build around some of these good young players.
High fastball, and Tabata just couldn't get over the top of it. And the count's 2-2. In theaters, June 25th. Grown-ups. Looks funny. We've seen the trailers.
How did they get my home movies?
That ball driven to right center. Morgan stalking it. And he'll yield to Bernardina. Either of them could have caught it.
Yeah.
Great speed in that gap out there. 2 down here in the 8th.
And nice communication between the two of them. That's the second time they crossed paths. The first time, Niger took the ball. So at least they know they're right there to make the play as long as somebody catches it and they don't slam each other.
Nationals Park a little quieter than it was last night. 18,876 paid this evening. They've seen an action-packed ball game. Not a well-played game, really, on the part of both ball clubs defensively. But with lots of offense, the Nats lead the Pirates 6-5, even though out-hit 11-9. Neil Walker checks one to right. Bernardina battling the lights, and he slides into a catch. Another scoreless 8 for Tyler Clippard. The Nats have Willingham to lead off and on top of Pittsburgh 6-5. has an RBI, his 34th. Banging one right off the pitcher right there.
Well, I wanted the listeners to be able to hear that at home.
The bat or the ankle?
The smacking off Carrasco. Sometimes it doesn't pay to be a pitcher, and there you see a future Major League manager, Pudge Rodriguez, moving the defense. He's talking, he's cheering guys on. He's just a wonderful addition to this ball club.
Brendan Donnelly made his debut in the big leagues 8 years ago, and that was after 10 years in the minor leagues. He faces Willingham here. There's always been a maximum effort, flapping arms and legs coming right at you sort of pitcher.
I mean, I don't have his stuff right in front of me, but I think Donnelly, didn't he spend 10 years in the minor leagues?
Yes, he did.
So you talk about perseverance. 1992 with the White Sox in the Gulf Coast League. Didn't get up to the major leagues until 2002 with the Angels. Been banging around ever since.
High gas inside to Willingham.
Maybe you don't want your kid trying to emulate this delivery.
Can a hitter be comfortable when a guy's not even looking at him as he's about to pitch?
Bob, I'm 8 stories up and I'm not comfortable. I love him. He's, throws strikes and he's got all those moving parts going on. But, man, it just hurts my arm thinking about what he's doing there. I can ask you, we'll say Strasburg's mechanics are smooth. What would be the opposite of smooth? The opposite of smooth.
Smooth would be bumpy.
Bumpy, so he has
speed bumps.
Speed bumps in his delivery.
Herky jerky.
Yeah, this guy's, don't tell us, pretty smooth. He's got a heck. Well, I didn't want to say herky jerky. But remember Doug Bachler?
Yeah, San Diego.
Man, my shoulder used to hurt every time he threw.
Josh Willingham, his .427 on base percentage will skyrocket again tonight. He's on for the 3rd time with 2 hits and a walk.
That is a very nice career. That's a strong, it's like the Bay Bridge. That is a strong bridge to the closer for many years.
Here's Roger Bernardina. He has stunned the ball 3 times, and Millage took another double away from him in the gap in right center last time. That's nasty.
He's got to look for the ball on a guy like Donnelly. You can't watch all that stuff that's going on. It's kind of like with Ryan Dempster when he's waving the glove and stuff. You got to try to pick the ball up as early as you can. It's easier said than done. It's easy to sit up here and say that, but
inside.
I don't know if it was you that told me that story about Albert Pujols, the time that somebody got him out on a certain pitch. He went back in and looked at the video. He came out and he goes, if he throws that pitch next time, I'm taking this guy way out of here. And he threw the same pitch he got him out on the last time, and Albert hit it about 450 feet.
Their video room is about 30 feet behind their dugout. You don't even have to go in the clubhouse to see video.
My point was going to be that you have to have that kind of confidence. I mean, whether you're Albert Pujols or not, you have to believe, listen, I can hit this guy, no problem. This guy can't get me out. And I've heard many of my former teammates when I was playing and even after I'm done playing, and that's the kind of confidence you have to have up here.
The runner goes. Line drive. Eats up to shortstop. Willingham goes to 3rd. The Nationals with a perfect hit and run in terms of how well the ball was struck. And Roger Bernardina, with 4 solid contact at bats tonight, is 3 for 4. Now the Nats are looking for insurance.
Well, my new favorite Nat right here, Roger Bernardina. We love seeing this guy hitting the ball with authority, scoring runs, stealing runs with the glove. That's what you want from one of your corner outfielders. Yeah, you'd like a few more home runs, but you won't be too greedy.
Well, he's hitting up around 265 now with 3 hits tonight. David Eckstein has to be pleased with that because Bernardina's been one of his projects.
Yeah, Rick Eckstein loves his pupils. They're his kids. It's his family, the hitters.
Roger Bernardina is hitting 269 with his 3 for 4 tonight. Now here's where Ian Desmond has to make sure he doesn't get too frisky, get a good pitch to work with. He is still one of the Nationals' best hitters with runners in scoring position.
And that's probably the dilemma that right here Jim Riggleman's facing. Should I let this guy just swing away, try to do some kind of safety bunt here to try to get Bernardina over, get a run in? I mean, that'll get one in. Maybe.
On the infield, Cedeno, 1 out. That's a big out for the Pirates.
Yep.
H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. With tomorrow's starter right-hander Zach Duke. In his career, 1-1 with a 5.11 ERA in 4 starts against the Nats. And Livan Hernandez, winless since the first week of May, which is hard to believe. Another night game tomorrow night. Join us here on MASN 2 HD if you don't come down to the ballpark. Either way, we're glad to have you. And here's Wilmy Avis. Will is 0 for 2 with a walk. Pirates looking for a double play ball here. Donnelly just flips it over their sidearm and has Bernardina diving back in, taking his legs out from under it. Former Donnelly teammate with the Angels, Adam Kennedy, is waiting. You know, at Chili's, and you go to chili'sbaseball.com and check out a chance to win a VIP baseball trip. It's all in the preparation. Nats lead 6-5, bottom 8, needing to get one more run home here. Donnelly, 38 years of age, big fellow at 6'3", 240. 30 games with the Marlins last year. Most of his time in the American League with the Angels. A brief stay in Boston and Cleveland. Pirates have stranded 9 tonight. Couple of double plays in the last few innings. They've had 1 hit since the 5th, as the Nats bullpen has shut the door on them. Nationals been pretty economical with their base runners tonight, scoring 6, stranding 4. Gets one in the middle of the plate and hits it hard to center. Tagging is Willingham. And Wilmy Avis gives the Nats a 2-run lead. Now, he took advantage, but you would have to say that was a pretty poor 0-2 pitch by Brendan Donnelly.
Oh, most definitely, Bob. I mean, you got to locate this pitch to where it can be driven by the hitter. You just got a huge out on Desmond. And then you're going to throw an 0-2 pitch that's hanging in the center of the plate. Nieves drives it, even though it's a line shot to McCutchen. You see the hammer get back, nicely tag the base, turn around, score a huge insurance run.
Will Nieves with his 7th RBI of the year. Nats lead 7-5. They could turn Bernardino loose here with 2 outs. Adam Kennedy takes a fastball upstairs. Adam needing a B's. He hasn't had many lately. 136 on the year. But it's been pretty much Guzman and Desmond up the middle for the last week or two. Inside, says Ron Kolpa.
That doesn't mean that Adam hasn't been out here every day taking early batting practice here. Probably the earliest of anybody every day. You want to build a winning ball club, you got to start with guys like Adam Kennedy. Just can't help but root for him.
Kennedy hitting for Clippard, so you know that Caps is on the way. Matt is well warmed. He's been active this entire half inning. There goes the runner. Bernardino really beats that one easily. Yeah. And for Roger Bernardino, his 4th stolen base, and he's having quite a ball game today.
Well, Brendan Donnelly too slow to the plate right here. A little bit too much of a leg kick. Bernardino gets a great jump. Got to stop looking in. Once you take off, just run to the bag. Yeah. That little look in might cost you a millisecond. You don't want to do that, but
most of the time when a guy's looking in, it's a hit and run, but that was a straight steal.
Yeah, that was a straight steal, but that's a bad habit. You just want to drop that head down and dig for second base. He gobbles up second easily, so get a nice big lead. Base hit, another insurance run.
Oh, another big run sitting out there. Adam Kennedy this year as a pinch hitter, 3 for 8 with a run batted in. Kennedy will reach out. That was ball 4, and he'll foul it away. One more game on the homestand tomorrow night, 888-632-NAS. Make a call, go online to nationals.com, come down and join us, and you'll see Lee Vaughn pitching tomorrow night against Zach Duke. Two again to Kennedy. He'll take that pitch this time. And that's at first and second with 2 outs. And another chance for Christian Guzman to get a multi-hit game. Singled up the middle, leading on off the 7th. 1 out later, and it was a Morgan sacrifice scored on the Zimmerman single. So the Nationals played good small ball to get that lead run last inning. This inning, a leadoff walk by Donnelly has hurt the Pirates. Guzman's driven in 18 this year. And right now, guess who is the National with the highest batting average with runners in scoring position? Christian Guzman, 359.
I was going to try to get the crib notes there on that question.
I'm sorry, I'll give you more time.
You didn't give me enough time, teacher.
Now, class. Now, I will ask you one thing. Is Christian Guzman still your team MVP like he was several days ago?
Yes, he is. But Pudge is also right there now that he's healthy.
Pudge might be more of an intangible sort of thing with everything he brings to the table. Guzman, he just brings hits to the table and sets the table.
We have a lot of guys that are up for MVP right now. But Pudge the catalyst. He's team catalyst. Look at that guy.
He's catching this game even though he's not in there. So if Guzman's the catalyst.
No. This Pudge is the catalyst.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Guzman.
Guzzi.
Who's the catalytic converter?
I mean, Desmond. We got a good group of guys. Capper down there. I don't want to call him the water boy. He is the father of the bullpen.
And Guzman will chop one to the right side, charged by Walker. The Nets pick up a big run. Here comes former Pirate Matt Capps, and he's looking for his 20th save of the year. Coming up in moments. Andrew McCutcheon. The Nationals lead by 2 here in the 9th.
Oh, no, I'm going to boycott you. I saw you do something yesterday. We can't talk about it publicly. You did a video blog. Still can't talk.
Me and your buddy Harold Reynolds.
I can't believe you brought it up.
You brought it up. Shortstop. Desmond to his left. That's a 9th inning play right there. Johnny Holiday, Ray Knight in the house with Nets Extra presented by Verizon Fios. Jim Riggleman, as always, live. Reacts from the clubhouse and a trip to the minor leagues today. We always like to know what's going on down there. Matt Capps with a fastball to the outside corner. And when he's good, he's fast. Nationals are trying to win their 29th game of the year. Get that 500 mark back within their sights.
You have to start calling back towards 5 games over.
Which was their season high after 35 games. That's at one point were 20 and 15. Metcalf are going to cover the bases with him tomorrow. Massive 2 HD, a product of that Cobb County baseball program down in Georgia. A drive to left. Willingham turns one way, then the other, and it's off his glove. Into second base, speeds Garrett Jones. Tough play. Right back over Josh's head. And then once you find it, Rob, off the bat of the left-hander, it's got some sail, some slice to it.
Well, he attacked Jones on the outer half of the plate, some off-speed stuff, and see the replay, but looked like an off-speed pitch that he got a hold of right here.
There's the slice right at the end.
Yep. And that's what's going to happen. Lefty hits that ball and inside outs it, and hits it towards the foul line, and it slices that way.
Here's Andy LaRoche. How big does that 8th inning run look now? LaRoche 0 for 3 with 3 grounders, an RBI, and a walk.
Jones is staying out in the second. He's going to go all out here on LaRoche. Don't get beat with your secondary stuff.
Target away. Will wants it down. It's a fastball up, and the hitter committed, and Lance Barksdale says strike 2.
Well, it's going to be borderline looking from up where we are. Yep, he broke. Tried everything he could to hold up, but when you're throwing fastballs up there in the low 90s, you're only going to help the hitters by throwing 85-mile-an-hour sliders.
Don't see too many check swings on sliders.
Did
he go on that one?
Oh, yeah, he did.
And Barksdale says no this time.
Let's see this one right here. Let's see if he can. There's a plate right over here.
Oh, that's as far as the previous one.
Okay, we're not umpires. We're up here, but do not throw off speed. Blow him away again right here with hard heat away.
Yeah, these aren't healthy hacks. And a bouncer up the middle. Desmond covers the ground. 2 outs. And the final chance for the Pirates will be a hitter who's had a very good night, and that's Lastings Milledge, who's 3 for 4.
Now go hard in on this guy. Try to jam him.
Fastball. Jordan Milledge, 16 of his 17 RBIs. That's evening the count. Not a big crowd tonight. 18,876. A lot of action. 22 hits, 12 runs in this game. Nationals lead 7-5.
Very late on that swing.
Breaking ball pops in off right side. Adam Kennedy is there. And the Nets have won the series. Tomorrow they'll go for the sweep. Way back in the first inning, Rob Dibble, our fourth drive of the game, courtesy Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn continues to hit the sweet spot of his bat. First start of Brad Lincoln's career. He'll remember this moment right there. First home run.